Hi, everyone. This is Megan.
And this is Steven.
Oh,
And
Lord,
this
give me
is
strength.
the Synchrony Project.
Not even the right intro. And this is the Synchrony Podcast, where we talk about transforming apostolic dating culture and ending loneliness in the church. I love you, you dork.
I love you too.
It's been a minute, guys, and we're back with our characteristic unhinged chaos.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you for putting the whole. If you are not watching the YouTube video, you might not be able to tell because our voices haven't changed, but the background and the lighting in here has changed dramatically.
Yeah.
It does look very good. And we got new chairs.
Yeah, we did get new chairs.
They're very comfy.
Very. And I'm so happy I can sit crisscross and not have to be crunched.
Crisscross applesauce.
That's right.
That's right. We have been off schedule, off kilter, slightly off our rocker the last few weeks, I would say.
Yeah, well, Christmas holidays or the Christmas season, New
Holidays,
Year's,
sale,
sickness.
sickness. Ugh. I am on preschool cold number 578.
Megan sounds like she's a 3-pack-a-day smoker.
I have tiny dwarves in my sinuses just chipping away in there. Yeah, that's been rough. And it's just been crazy busy.
Yeah, why?
Work's been busy, but also
Also,
I've been meeting like a gajillion people.
that's not what you go.
Oh, what did you think I was going to talk about?
We're buying a house.
Yeah, we are buying out.
Well,
which is
we are in contract with buying a house. It's not in stone that we're going to get it.
Yeah.
But I'm very excited because it is literally the property right next to us.
Yeah, it's right behind our current property.
If you drove through our driveway, through the fence, you'd be in the backyard of this house.
Yes. Yes, God has really blessed just tremendously. Honestly, guys, it's been so cool. At some point we'll have to testify all about it. And just, I mean, for clarity, we're not buying a house because Synchrony is making tons of money.
No. It's just a really good opportunity and a good move for our family right now.
Yeah, no, God has really done some awesome stuff in my job lately, and he's just opening doors. So we're trying to just say yes to the ones that we can walk through, and looking forward to being in a space that fits us a lot better.
Yeah, much better.
So much better. God is good. I have brought a prop.
I see that.
Tonight.
Lots of props, actually.
Yes, a multitude of props. I have brought, hold on. It is a basket of fruit.
Yep.
Apples and oranges that are going to be part of an object lesson tonight. And I'm going to be honest with you, I just grabbed these out of our kitchen. And
you don't say.
There may be a moldy one in here. I don't know.
Yeah, the one on top looks a little
They're getting, some of these oranges are getting a little weird because they've definitely been left at the bottom of the bag of cutie oranges that the kids haven't eaten. But we're going to use these for a little object lesson tonight.
Okay.
You have no idea what we're talking about, though.
No idea.
Fun fact, Steven and I don't plan these podcast episodes very much.
Well, we talk about what the topic's going to be sometimes, but we don't script them.
No, and he doesn't always know which topic I'm going to spring on him. I like it to be a surprise.
Yeah. Well, it's usually like, hey, which one of these 3 topics do we want to talk about this week? Or it's like, hey, we're pivoting.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised tonight.
Or
okay.
I just don't give you a choice and it's just a surprise.
Yeah.
Which is what's happening tonight with my bowl of fruit.
She showed up with a bowl of fruit.
I did. Hey. I love a good, like my pastor, I love a good object lesson.
That's right.
Did I ever tell you the story about Pastor Tony and the tiki torches? Okay.
I mean, I think you have, but probably not the podcast listeners.
So before Pastor Tony was ever our pastor, long ago and far away, I was one of the musicians at a holiday youth convention in Florida, which happens in Orlando at a nice big hotel. It's very big. Lots of people come. It's really fun. It's really great. HYC is a good time. And I was singing on the platform, and Pastor Tony happened to be the evangelist who was coming in to preach. And my pastor loves an object lesson.
Yep.
My man loves a prop.
If you were at Youth Congress, the year he brought a cross.
He swung around from the cross.
Yeah, that's right.
In the
middle
stadium.
of the stadium, yeah.
Yeah. like a very holy version of Miley Cyrus. And he was just, I'm sorry, Pastor. I apologize to you. And anyway, so
Don't look it up.
don't, yeah. And so anyway, but his object lesson, he was talking about, I think he was talking about Gideon and like the torches and the pitchers, the
Yeah.
lights and the pitchers. And this prop that he brought was a tiki torch, right? And he was lighting and putting out the tiki torch over and over. And we were standing on this platform in this ballroom in this hotel. And I was standing right under a very robust sprinkler apparatus in the
Oh
ceiling.
no.
Because, like, if a fire starts in the ballroom, you got to put it out, right?
Yeah,
So they
sure.
had all, normal ballroom ceiling, but tons of sprinklers, like, all around. And he's right in front of me on the platform. And I'm watching this little wisp of smoke just drift every time he does this thing to the tiki torch. I'm watching it just drift up toward like the smoke detector, and I'm just like, if this man makes it flood at this conference, I will be so upset.
Well,
Like,
you would also have another object lesson the next
yes,
time
it
you're
would have been. I'm sure we could have gotten a sermon out of
Yeah,
that if
sure.
that had happened. But anyway, so no, we're using an object lesson tonight. We are going to be talking about the dating marketplace.
Okay.
You and I have talked about this theory before, a little bit. So before we get started, I'm going to be using a lot of money, economic, capitalistic type language. Capitalistic is now a word to describe a phenomenon with our dating culture.
Okay.
I do not mean to boil people's experiences of connection and humanness down to a set of numbers
Yeah.
or some set of like arbitrary sort of valuation, right? This is not meant to try to put people into categories or assign numbers to people or rate people or rank people. I'm just trying to give you an illustration to help conceptualize why men and women are very confused about how the other gender is approaching dating.
Okay.
You've been hanging out with a bunch of guys on the Discord,
Yep.
right? I talk to women all the time who are texting me or messaging me and sending me stuff about like strange encounters they're having in dating,
Yeah.
right? How often do you hear some version of, why do women do this? Or why do men do this? Like, I feel like I field one or two of those questions pretty much every day.
Yeah.
Has that been happening to like the guys that you're talking to?
I mean, I think at first when we like first started the Discord, there was more of like that as like a like neutral ground, like,
Yeah.
oh, we can all relate to this.
Yeah.
I think now we're getting into deeper conversations.
Yeah.
Um, and also like I'm open to listening to people's ideas,
Yeah.
but when it comes to like it's like sweeping generalizations, I also am not a huge fan of it.
I agree with that. I think we got to be careful about lumping people into huge buckets. But at the same time, I do think that people who have been in the dating space for a long time and have had multiple encounters with people start to see patterns that can be very confusing, right?
Yeah.
Behaviors that don't make sense. So I'm hoping that this will shed some light on why people act the way that they do.
We're
Okay?
gonna talk about not comparing apples to oranges.
Yeah, but that was a happy accident because we just happened. I mean, if we had had onions and potatoes only, it would have been comparing onions to potatoes. But we
Well, and it
happened,
smells really funky in here.
yeah, we happened to have apples and oranges. So lucky us. Okay, so I'm going to describe a hypothetical universe, right? And in this hypothetical universe, let's pretend that women are the only people who have access to apples, right? Women grow the apples, care for the apples. They are the only ones who have access to maybe apple seeds, apple orchards.
Adam's apple.
Sure, they are the keepers of the apples. I'm sure there's a metaphor in there somewhere. And men are the only ones who have access to oranges. Same thing.
Yep.
Men raise the oranges, cultivate the oranges, harvest the oranges. Men have the oranges, women have the apples. Okay?
Obviously, oranges are the superior fruit of this. Not because it's men, but because oranges are much better fruit.
I don't know. I like an apple. You can't put peanut butter on an orange. I mean,
I'm sure you could.
you could, but it would be
I
gross.
bet I would try it.
I bet you would.
I
You
also am
freak.
biased because I can't eat apples because half my tooth is fake.
It's true.
I mean, I
Steven
can't eat them the traditional way, I should say.
Steven busted half of his face out on a jet ski one time.
Yeah, I got in a fight. I lost.
Yeah. Um. Anyway, so men control the orange supply. Okay. Women control the apple supply. And for obvious reasons, both men and women would like to have access to the other kind of fruit, right? So
Yep.
women would love to make a trade for some oranges, and men would love to make a trade for some apples. And let's say that this kind of trading happens in a marketplace of sorts, where women will come with their apples expecting to find a gentleman that they can make a trade for some oranges. All right.
Okay.
I'm not so subtly describing dating interactions. I don't know if you guys have picked up what I'm putting down. So basically, like, we're going to be talking about these fruits, so to speak, as the things people are bringing to the table. Have you heard that expression before?
Yep.
Like, what are they bringing to the table? And when people say that, they're talking about the gambling table, the trading table. They're talking about some sort of negotiation. What you bring to the table is what you're negotiating with.
Yeah.
So already when we talk about partners, potential dating partners, and we say, oh, he brings a lot to the table or she brings a lot to the table, we're already talking about it in this kind of economic
It's like a
language.
transaction. Yeah.
Right. The same reason why people will compare women, instead of saying she's a 10, sometimes they'll say she's a dime piece, right? Like there's all this monetary language that we've been using to describe dating for a long time. I don't know how I feel about it, but it's been part of our culture for a minute. So we're going to use that. So oranges are what men bring to the table,
Okay.
right? That one's a little wonky looking, but you can have it anyway. Okay, so let's say that you are a single man
Yep.
out in the dating marketplace, and
The world is my oyster.
the world is your oyster, but depending on how many oranges you have,
Mm-hmm.
because the more oranges you have, the more in demand you are in the marketplace, right? In
Okay.
this space where women really want to trade for oranges, you have
Yeah.
more oranges. And let's say that one of your oranges is that you are conventionally attractive. One of your oranges is that you are emotionally intelligent. One of your oranges is that you're like weirdly athletic. One of your oranges is that, yeah, I don't know, random facts about random things. I don't know, whatever. These oranges are, that one doesn't count because that's not really a sought after dating characteristic. But let's just say these oranges are like the in demand qualities of a potential partner.
Okay.
Okay. And let's say that you have 4 oranges.
Okay. You want me to hold my oranges?
Yeah, you can hold your oranges. Here, hold on. Let me toss them to you.
Yep. One at a time.
Okay.
Oh, hit my mic. All right. All right. Awesome.
Good catch. Okay. So you have 4 oranges. There you go. And I'm over here. I'm also single in the dating marketplace. Hold on. I have to move all the excess oranges. Fun fact, we have more oranges than apples in our house right now. And I have, oh, that one was yucky. Hold on. I have,
One moldy apple.
yeah, I have 4 apples that are still intact. That one is gross and needs to be thrown away. Okay. You get to sit over there. All right. I have 4 apples. So I have 4 apples. You have 4 oranges. And let's assume that in this hypothetical weird universe where everyone is trading in fruit, uh, you can only trade with one person. You get one opportunity to trade. You can't go trade all your oranges to a bunch of different people, right? You have to pick one person to trade with. And let's just say in this world that an orange and an apple are worth about the same thing. Okay. That's probably true, right? In the general marketplace.
Yeah, sure.
Like, depending on how special of a kind of orange or an apple
Unless
it
you have
is.
scurvy.
Okay. Anyway, so you're out here a single man in the marketplace. I'm out here a single woman in the marketplace. We're both bringing 4 apples or oranges, respectively, to the table.
Yep.
And they are worth the same thing. Logic would have it that me approaching you saying, hey, I have 4 oranges that I'd like to trade for your, or excuse me, I have 4 apples I'd like to trade for your 4 oranges would be completely logical.
Yeah.
Right? A good trade.
Yeah.
An even match. Right? 2 people equally matched. Okay? But here's the sticking point. There are 40 women in this marketplace, and there are only 2 men. Okay?
Okay.
And you are one of 2 men, so there are only the oranges that you guys brought. And all of us women over here got apples for days. We got apples everywhere, right? Some women have 1 apple, some women have 27 apples, some women have 6 apples, some women have 4 apples like me. but all of us are bringing apples to the table, and only 2 people are bringing oranges to the table. What does this cause?
A supply issue.
A supply issue, right? So the law of supply and demand,
Yep.
right? If there is a low supply, it drives up the demand. All of us remember the 2020 toilet paper incident.
Yeah.
Let's take a moment.
When you can buy a roll of toilet paper for $5 from a convenience store.
Crazy. People were talking about wiping with the craziest things.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of orange peels, no, it was just a
Ooh.
weird it was just a weird time in history. The great toilet paper shortage of 2020. And it wasn't because toilet paper suddenly went up in value.
Nope.
It was literally just because for a minute there wasn't enough supply, right? It was
Yep.
still just pulpwood. There just wasn't enough of it to go around, and suddenly the price of it shot up. The demand for it shot up. The craziness of trying to get it shot up, right? So in this marketplace, even though you and I have an equal number of apples and oranges, your oranges, even though they are worth in terms of just like the general price of fruit, the same as what I have,
Yeah.
you can command a much higher quote unquote price for your oranges, right?
There's 4 different things I was about to say, and none of them were like
Appropriate.
either appropriate or applicable. So I just decided to say nothing.
That's good choice. Thank you for listening to your better angels on that one.
This doesn't happen very often.
No. Okay. So you are the king of Facebook Marketplace,
Yep.
right?
That's where I got these shares.
Yeah, you did get these chairs on Facebook Marketplace. How often do you just take a seller's price at
Never.
face value? Why?
Uh, well, because I know usually people post for room for negotiation, so I always at least I say the words, "Is the price firm or is the price flexible?"
Sure.
And to see their answer, it's like me like testing.
Okay, but here's the thing. I would rather have the skin peeled off my body than barter with someone.
Oh no, absolutely
I'm
not.
like, hey,
I
I will
never take
pay.
it at face value
Okay, so why do you enjoy doing that?
because I like money.
Because you like the win
Sure.
and money. Money is part of that. But you like
I also like convincing my wife that I
uh
got a good deal.
yes. I'm never convinced, by the way, but you always the drama that plays out when you bring home something new from Facebook Marketplace, especially when you bought it before telling me that you were gonna buy it, it's like, babe, I found this thing on Facebook Marketplace.
Babe, there's these VHS.
Babe, look at I found these things on Facebook Marketplace. And normally, if you were to buy them brand new, if you were to buy them brand new in the box, it would be like $500. I got them for guess how much I got them for?
Guess.
Guess how much?
Make sure you guess. You're
Guess
like,
how much I
Steven,
got them
I
for?
hate this game. I'm like, no, please at least guess once.
Guess how much I got them for? I got them for $375. What are they? Elephant toenails. Great. Okay. So, but is it fair to say you enjoy the win?
Oh,
You enjoy
100%.
getting more bang for your buck, quote unquote. Like you
Yes.
enjoy getting goods that are more valuable than the money that you handed them,
Yep.
right? I dare say the same concept applies in the dating marketplace, right? All of us love the idea of being in the position where well, I don't know if all of us love this idea, but a lot of people like the idea of being in a position where you're dating up, right? Or like, like people use this as a way to compliment their spouse, but it's also a brag.
Yeah,
Like
I can see that.
if you hear someone like from like the pulpit or from whatever being like, "Here's my beautiful wife, man, y'all, I really married up." Look
Yeah,
at
it's supposed to be bragging on her, but really it's saying, like, look what I got.
yes,
Yeah.
saying even though apparently I'm not everything that she is, she saw enough value in me that it was worth a trade,
Yeah.
right? I married up. All of us like the idea of being in that position, but the reality is men are often the only ones who actually have the ability to do that in our dating culture because men have more buying power in this market than women do. And by that, I mean, because there is a shortage of men, right? There are fewer men than there are women. Men can come to the table, quote unquote, the negotiation table with the same or fewer resources than women are bringing to the table and command a higher price. So you have 4 oranges and I have 4 apples, right? I can approach a man with 4 oranges and say, "Hey,
Apples.
no, I can approach a man
Oh,
with
oh,
who
oh,
has
okay.
4 oranges, just like I have 4 apples and say, "Hey, we could make a good trade.
Yeah.
We're bringing about the same to the table, right?
Yep.
We look about the same level of attractive. We have about the same level of education. We're making about the same level of money. We're both involved in the church to the same degree. This would be a good trade. We're on the same level, right? But as a man, you would know that your 4 oranges are in high demand.
Yeah. Like, where's the clearance section?
There you go. And you're
Yeah.
like, but I could probably go talk to someone with 6 oranges,
Yeah.
someone who's
Like,
slightly
here's a half an orange.
okay. I could talk to someone who's slightly more
Yeah.
attractive. I could talk to someone who's slightly more sought after. I could talk to someone who's slightly more insert other things that are desirable in this marketplace because you recognize that you can get more for what you are bringing to the table than I can, right?
Yep.
And I'm not saying any of this is happening consciously. I'm not saying that men are like number crunching and calculating to see who they have available to them, right? Or that women are doing this either. But this is an unconscious thing that we do. And there's good data about this in terms of just how it happens in society. Dating is a competitive thing
Yeah.
in terms of how sociologists talk about it, right? There is competition to secure a mate and you are competing for resources that you share as a couple. You're competing for the right to reproduce. Not that we have to get all like weirdly evolutionary scientific because I know that's not really our bag, but like an evolutionary anthropologist would say you are competing for mate selection because you are competing for the chance to pass on your DNA,
Yeah.
right? And you are competing for the chance to pass on your DNA with another person whose DNA has characteristics that are sought after because that is better for your eventual offspring.
Yeah.
That's the scientific theory behind it. Now, we can pick at that all we want, but I think we could agree that people generally want to date someone attractive and financially stable and having a charismatic personality and having the characteristics of a good spouse, right? And most of us have daydreamed at some point about dating someone who is a little bit better in those things than we are.
Yeah.
Is this metaphor making sense so far, or is it just like
Yeah. I
nonsense?
mean, it makes complete sense.
How does this map to how you remember dating when you were young? Like, think back to when you were single and like when you and the guys you grew up with were thinking about dating. How do you relate to this idea of like the the kind of competitive landscape of it?
Interestingly, looking back, you were always trying to figure out what your value was.
Mm, what do you mean?
And when I mean that, I mean like you're like 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, like those really younger years.
Yeah.
I don't think you know what your value is. And I think there's a lot of social pressure
Oh.
that is you're listening to the people around you who you surround yourself with, and you kind of look for them to tell you your value.
When you say value, do you mean like your ranking
Well, when I say value, I
relative?
mean like what you're worth to your apples to oranges, right?
How
It's like
yeah, how you
like
rank in the
because
marketplace.
I think when you're 14, you don't know that you're actually charismatic. You know, when you're
When you're 14, you're probably not.
no, well, that's what I'm saying. Well, no, I do remember 14-year-olds that were like really good at just connecting with people
Oh, yeah.
and like talking, and there's other people that couldn't like have a good conversation with a brick wall. Like,
Mhm.
so it's it's hard because I think this is why it's important to be careful who you surround yourself with, because you could have people that say, "Hey, no, you're worth more than you're giving yourself credit for. Dude, you
Mhm.
got this, man."
Yeah, look at all these great qualities
Yeah,
about
like go
you.
talk to that person. She's awesome. Like
Yeah.
give it a chance. And then there's the people that say, no, dude, you're not actually like, like, dude, you look at those zits on your face, bro. Like, dude, you're
Yeah.
scrawny, you're a wimp, like I'm using dramatic bullying examples, but like it depends on how much you care about that person's perspective and if you believe that perspective.
And I think what your point, which is really valuable, is that like our quote unquote worth or what we think we are bringing to the table is based on our perception.
Yeah, because again, this isn't like a literal monetary system.
Yeah, there's no one out there actually scoring people.
Yeah. But it's one of those things that I think in hindsight, looking back, I go, oh, yeah, I can see some things that were valuable in that situation.
Yeah.
But also, when you asked me that question, I look back, and the only thing that I thought that I had a value even though I'm not saying this is right or wrong, I'm saying it was the people that said, "Hey, Steven, you're really good in this area."
Yeah.
And sometimes I didn't believe them, or maybe I kind of thought I was, but I
Yeah.
didn't really want to say it, and so like, and but I think the hard part is looking back. I remember always hearing like, "Oh, Steven, you're not great in this area,"
Yeah.
and never saying, "Oh, that was a stagnant place to be in." And what I mean by that is like I took that as a challenge on how can I grow to get better at that area.
Yeah. You're a very growth oriented person.
I am, but like what I mean by that is like I don't think, and I know this might be a little off topic, but I don't think you're stagnant with how many oranges or apples you have.
No, you're
Like
not.
you're not like given that, like this isn't the Hunger Games where you're stuck to a sector, right?
No.
Like this is your like you might have innate
Mhm.
talents, you might have a learned skill or two that you grew up with,
Right.
but one of those things is like whenever I heard of an area in which I'm not doing good at, I'm like, okay, cool. How can I learn from someone that's good in that area?
Right. And you make a really good point that like the number of resources that we're bringing to the dating marketplace, some of those are things that we don't have control over, right? We don't have control over our looks
Yeah,
all the time. At least not complete control,
yeah,
right? You can make efforts to improve your physique, you can make efforts to improve your skin tone, you can make efforts to improve your nutrition, yada 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 yada. You can invest into how you look and that will change how you look.
yeah.
But ultimately, we really can't control our genes,
No,
right? And we can't control how much money our family has when
yeah,
we're born. And we can't control where we live when we're a kid. But we can control the skills that we learn, what we do in school, how we apply ourselves, what kind of jobs we seek out. There are places over which we have leverage,
yeah,
right? Where you can add to your pile of resources that you're bringing to the table. So
yeah,
I think it's a very good point that these are not fixed things. These are
yeah,
not intrinsic to who people are. These are a collection of traits, characteristics, skills that they've built up over their life, some of which might have been given to them, some of which they might have worked really hard to cultivate.
yeah. And I know this isn't like innately known information, and
Yeah.
I didn't say like I did that on purpose as a kid,
Yeah.
but I think where it really forced me to grow was whenever I was like wanting to get better at witnessing.
Mm,
There's so many areas that are, and I think we talked about this at one point a long time ago. There's a lot of areas of witnessing that are also a lot of areas in which you have to get out of your comfort zone to talk to someone that
mm.
you like.
Same skill set. Yeah.
And it's very
Dating,
similar.
dating
It's
and
like,
witnessing.
hey, I need to approach a person who may or may not want to talk to me.
By the way, when I said same skill set, I don't mean that we're just flirting with people to bring them into the church. We know some people who are good at doing that, but that's not how we do it.
You know who you are.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. So, okay. So back to the marketplace theory,
Yeah.
right? Men, generally speaking, in our current dating marketplace can approach the table with fewer resources and command a higher price. And
Yeah.
by that, I mean that a man with 4 oranges could approach a woman with 6 or 7 or 8 oranges,
Yeah.
or excuse me, apples. And she, not seeing many other opportunities, will entertain that trade.
Yeah.
Even though she might know intrinsically that, hey, you know, I have 12 apples. Those are worth 12 oranges,
Yeah.
right? Like I worked hard at my physique and I worked hard at my education and I worked hard at my spiritual discipline and I worked hard at insert X, Y, and Z other things.
Yeah.
So I should have someone who's my equal in those things, right? Oh, she might feel that very strongly. But at the same time, there might not be a guy with 12 oranges running around just because there isn't one nearby who's been able to or has had the opportunity to or has wanted to invest in those same things,
Yeah.
right? That's not a diss to the guys that are there. It's just the fact is there might not be someone around her who is bringing the same level of resources to the table. And she might make the choice to end up trading with someone who's bringing a little bit less.
Yeah. So,
Uh-huh.
are you telling them? Are you telling the people that you have to settle?
So,
I feel like I get that so often.
settling.
Yeah, like, oh, are you telling me I need to settle?
Yeah.
Like it's this bad word.
Yeah. in the sense of like sometimes you do have to make a decision about whether or not how much quote unquote someone is bringing to the table is a hill that you want to die upon, right?
Yeah.
Because I think that there are times when it's like, hey, this goes back to just values alignment and figuring out what your actual values are. Because at the end of the day, these things we're talking about are not values. These are things like things that people seek out in the dating marketplace, some of which are preferences, some of which are beneficial criteria, some of which are just cultural things that we're taught to like height,
Yeah.
right? They're not values. So you have to, at the end of the day, decide which of these things you actually care about.
Yeah.
But at the same time, yeah, sometimes there is a really reasonable thing to say, like, look, I'm a woman with 12 apples. I am extremely highly educated. I make fantastic money. I have this level of this. I look like Angelina Jolie if she were holy. I like all these different things, right? But my desire is to be a mother and to have a family and to serve alongside my husband in the church. And I'm willing to not really care about what he looks like in order to do that,
Yeah.
right? Or I'm a musician and I'm gifted in music and I have all these talents and capabilities. And I'm willing to be with someone who does not have any of those talents or capabilities, even though it would be so great if I could be with someone who is musical. But it is more important to me that I get to have a family and I get to live the life that I'm called to live, right?
Yep.
Or I don't need to be with someone who makes as much money as I do. Women are more likely to entertain those areas of compromise than men are
Yep.
because men, whether they are conscious of this or not, in our dating marketplace, understand that they command a higher price. Now, here's the problem though. You have four oranges. Let's pretend that instead of four apples, I don't have enough apples to illustrate this. Let's say I
No,
had
you have one more in there.
I'm not touching that one. That one's yucky. Uh, let's say that I had 12 apples, right? You have four oranges.
Hmm.
And you come to me and you're like, hey, girl, like, you want to trade for some oranges? And I'll be like, yeah, I have 12 apples and you only have four oranges. That's not a good trade, right? I worked really hard for these.
Take what you get.
I worked really hard for these apples. These are, my blood, sweat, and tears. I raised them from a seed. I picked them. I harvested them. They're my apples. I'm not giving them away for four oranges. I'm not settling for that disparity in resources, right?
Yeah.
In an actual dating scenario, how do men sometimes respond to that type of interaction?
I mean, it's rejection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
Yep.
Rejection's awful.
Yep. Even though I think sometimes, it's hard to put this out there and say it like this, but basically, I think a lot of men don't recognize that there is a disparity in resources.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean you shouldn't shoot your shot.
Right.
But understanding this is hard to talk about.
You have to know your stats.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is like I'm worried that this is going to turn into like
I know I'm worried about the same thing, but I feel like it's something we have to tread into because even though this is really difficult, and again, we're not trying to boil people down to numbers, this is happening unconsciously.
yeah, people are doing it regardless.
Yeah, we're ranking each other,
Yeah.
whether it's overt or not. Whenever you're interacting in a dating interaction, and let's just use the example of you're on a dating app and you're swiping through people.
Yeah.
Let's be honest and say that you're going, they seem like they are worth me,
Yeah.
right? I think I could probably be valuable to them.
No, I don't think that's how that goes.
Really?
Mm-mm.
What do you think?
At least I don't think it does. Because I think we're being told instead of like I this is what I bring to the table,
Uh,
it's saying that is what I want.
yeah, but I think
That is what I'm being told I should want.
right, but I think if you're going to go approach someone on a dating app, you're making a value judgment of do I have enough resources to approach them realistically and get a positive response.
Yeah.
Like I think that math is happening, right? But you made a good point that a guy who, a woman would perceive to only have 4 oranges might not perceive that about himself. And that's because women and men are valuing things very differently,
Yeah.
right? I might be saying I have 12 apples, right? And those 12 apples include my education and my, spiritual discipline and my economic capabilities and whatever, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
That might not be what the guy who's approaching me values,
Yeah.
right? He might be saying, the things that I care about most right now are body size attractiveness, feature attractiveness, potential fertility, and being really cool with the things that I really enjoy doing, right?
Yeah.
Having common shared interests. Those, by the way, are some of the things that we hear
Yeah.
driving matchability for women from the perspective of men, right? So I might be over here going like, man, you only have 4 apples because like you've got a good job, but it's not, at the same level that mine is, or like, hey, you seem like you're in church, but not like fully all the way in church to the extent that I am. Like, there's not the same level here, but you're going, but I'm equally physically attractive as you are, maybe more. You know what I'm saying? So we're
Yeah.
we're weighing things differently.
We are, but I think another way to look at it,
Yeah.
going on the like mismatched values concept,
Yeah.
I think a guy with 4 or 5 oranges
Hmm.
could walk and could if a girl with 12 apples approached him
Yeah.
and says, "Hey, I'm interested in you.
Yeah.
I have 12 apples."
Yeah.
He might look at like what she has to offer
Uh-huh.
and not view it as 12 apples
Hmm.
because there's only a few that he cares about.
Yes.
And so she might have 12,
Right.
but there's really only 3 that really interest him.
Correct.
So to her, she's like, "What do you mean? I brought 12 to the table." And he goes, "Yeah, but I don't care about the other 9."
Right.
And so and I'm not saying that that's good.
Right.
And I'm saying if anything, I think that's a gross gross as in not as in like filthy, but like a gross misjudgment.
And women do it to men too,
They do. I
you
know,
know.
but I'm saying we and I hate to like feel like I'm cornering men here, but like we see it a lot with synchrony
We do.
where like we will match people who say that they have a certain area in ministry they're trying to go to. They have certain values about having kids. They have certain values about being in a region that they want to live in. And also, let's say from the guy's perspective, he can't move. We find someone that she can move to him, and she wants to homestead just like him. Like
Sure.
all of these really big, important decisions that would really characterize like a very specific lifestyle.
Correct.
We will say, hey, this girl is bringing a whole bushel of apples
To the table.
to the table for you.
Right.
And then if there is one thing physically or like from the picture or something that he sees,
Yeah.
he'll take that one apple that he thinks is the most important
Right.
and go, I don't see that there.
Yeah.
And literally just throw the whole bag into the like juicer.
Right.
Like it's like like the other apples don't matter at all. And I'm like, well, wait, this girl has so much more to offer you.
It would be like, let's use a different metaphor. It would be like if someone gave you 1,000 vintage Pokemon cards. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, say first gen.
First gen Pokemon
There you
cards.
go.
But you only collect Charmanders. That's it. You don't care about anything else. You don't care about Pikachus. You don't care about any other
You're
Pokemon because I
really
don't know the name
struggling.
of
You're
them. I
really
am.
struggling
I
right
got
now.
nothing else. I don't like
What's the
Pokemon.
goal of the Pokemon that you're trying to say? You're some really rare or not or insignificant.
My point is that he could have in that pile of 1,000 cards a gajillion extremely rare and extremely valuable cards. But if he is so fixated on one type of card,
Yeah.
he could lose out on all of the value there
Yeah.
because he's just seeking out that one card, right?
Let's put it in another perspective for those who don't play Pokemon
Okay.
or trade Pokemon. Let's say you are walking from California to Florida.
Okay. We are We are rich with metaphors tonight, guys.
Yeah, you are walking. You the boots were made for walking.
Okay.
And you have someone that in this example, like the cars represent viable, good selections for you as a man.
Uh-huh.
You have these people pulling up to you and saying, "Hey, I'm offering you a ride."
Uh-huh.
It's probably a bad example. I'm offering you transportation from one place to the other. And he's going, "No, I don't like the way your tires look."
Right.
And she's like, "All right, deuces, bro.
I'm waiting for a Ferrari.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the luxury Uber to get
Mhm.
here." But we're not talking about like a Pinto.
Right.
We're talking about like a nice Honda Accord.
Yeah.
Like we're talking
A
about,
solid
a
a
nice
solid
Lexus.
a
We're not,
solid Camry.
yeah, well, no. Well, I
Have
mean,
you ever
well,
ridden in a nice Camry?
I have.
They're nice.
I have nothing against Toyota. Actually, I think they're great.
You like Toyota.
I do. Specifically their trucks. But that being said, it's like we're not talking about a rust bucket. We're talking about something of equal or great, but sometimes better value than what you have to offer,
Right.
and you're turning your nose up to it.
Right. And I
And that's because not that you're not seeing, like, we're showing you that there's so much she has to offer for you in your situation, which, by the way, evaluate your situation.
right.
But you're taking one out of her bushel and saying, nope, no, this isn't.
I'm not seeing the thing that I
I'm
want to
not seeing
see.
the thing I want
Right.
to see, so that all the rest of them don't matter.
That is very true. And I think the way that this shows up for women, because women are doing the same thing
Yeah,
to men,
absolutely.
but it's not typically just about physical attractiveness. It can be. I have
Yeah.
met women who are doing the same thing when it comes to physical attractiveness, right? If his hands aren't the right shape, if his,
Yeah, if he's not big enough or
right,
tall
his
enough
shoulders aren't the
or
right
have
shape,
enough hair.
right. Women definitely are prone to this. But I will say, guys, they don't care about it as much as you do on the whole. Women do not like a lot of guys. I have been yelled at on social media when I mention height
Yeah.
as a preference for women about how unfair and ridiculous it is. I need to express that very, very few women are making dating decisions solely based on height.
Yeah.
They recognize it as a nice to have.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, they recognize that it is not a necessity, generally speaking. Very few women are discarding dating options based just on that criteria.
Yeah.
Most of the time, women will look beyond things that they don't find particularly physically attractive if there are other qualities that they find really attractive.
Yeah.
But women are prone to devalue things, oranges, so to speak, that men are bringing to the table because they've been trained not to see them as masculine.
Mm.
So, a man who is very, very gentle
Yeah.
and soft spoken and isn't going to be someone who,
Or an introvert.
yeah, someone who is more uh tender and sensitive, right? That is an orange. That has value. If you want to parent with this
It's
person,
biblical in a lot of ways.
it's biblical. If you want to parent with this person, if you want to do
Yep.
ministry with this person,
You
if
want a good example for your kids to look up to.
yeah, if you want someone who's emotionally intelligent and
Yeah.
able to evaluate their own emotions and feel them fully and then meet you and your emotions, a a soft-spoken, gentle, sensitive man is bringing a lot to the table.
Yeah.
But as a culture, we've been taught to devalue those and
Yep.
say like those aren't the oranges I'm looking for,
Yep.
right? So I these are not the
Yeah,
oranges you're looking for.
yeah, these are not the oranges you're looking
Oh man, we are just everywhere tonight. So I know that this is very essentializing and we're boiling people down in ways that can come across as really offensive. And I don't mean to. I don't mean to sort people into categories.
for. Yeah.
Don't y'all all go running off and start putting fruit emojis on people's pictures and like being really like weird about it, right? The point of this is we are using an unconscious ranking system
Yeah. Even
to,
though you'd think you're not, or you say, no, I don't, we are absolutely doing that.
and the reason why is because I know that if I present you with an option that doesn't match your self perception of how much you're bringing to the table, your instinct will be to say no
Yep.
without getting to know them.
Yep.
And so, you know, it's like the person who I matched not long ago who told me uh that they needed someone who had the same level of education that they did,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it was like it doesn't matter. Nothing else matters at this point, right? I have to narrow down the
Didn't
pool to
you
just
present
that.
that person with prospects of the same education level, and he's still kind of like,
No, no, no. This was a different person.
oh,
Yeah. No, no, because originally it was about money. It was about I want us to make
oh, yeah,
equal
yeah, yeah, yeah,
or more income. But this was a blue collar worker who was making way more money than the other person.
yeah.
And I pointed that out and then realized it was not about money.
It was not about money.
It
Yeah,
was about educational status,
yeah,
which is fine, except that you might be missing out on opportunities because you are essentializing a person down to one quality,
yep,
one characteristic that you care about. And it's dangerous because people, the most difficult people I could ever work with
yeah.
are beautiful, attractive, talented men.
Okay,
The men who I have the hardest time helping. And these are great guys, right? They are godly guys. They're not bad guys.
yeah.
They're not
They're not womanizers.
no, they're not cruel men.
Yeah,
They're men of morality. But they understand that they bring a lot to the table. And because they're bringing more than the average person might be, they will only entertain options that are bringing a mythical amount of stuff to the table,
yeah,
right? And if she doesn't have every single apple that is on that list of what he's looking for, he's going to wait because there's this concept. And it's like this weird gambling mindset of like, no, I'm just going to try again and go back to the table and wait for the next round. Next
yep,
time will be my lucky time
yep.
because I feel like I'm sitting there with so much to offer, you know?
But the thing is I know men. So again, this is not a ranking system, but I know men who are not in that category of what you're talking about.
Uh huh.
Like I'm talking about like men who are like straight up just average Joes
Right.
that have that same standard.
Yeah, but normally like I think that there are men who are open to me qualifying that for them.
Yeah, but I know I'm saying I know of men,
Uh-huh.
and forgive me for saying it this way, who are nothing to write home about.
Yeah, nice guys, good guys, but
Good
not
guys,
we're not talking
Christians, love
right.
Jesus, go to church, do the stuff. But like in terms of their oranges to offer,
They're not bringing an exceptional number of them to the
no,
table.
but yet they still want those mythical creatures.
Yes.
And they then come to me saying, "I'm so lonely
And I'm being rejected.
and I'm being rejected." I'm like, well, not even just the rejected, but I know men who have passed up opportunities,
Right.
really good quality opportunities,
Uh-huh.
because they didn't meet this mythical standard.
Or and this happens to men too, but I'm putting the onus on men because I hear about it more from women. Or they started connecting with a woman who had enough resources to bring to the table that it would have made it for a good trade, right?
Yeah,
He has six oranges. She came with six apples. They started talking. Things were going great. And then an eight orange or eight apple woman walked by
yeah,
and he ghosts this one to go chase that one in the hopes that he can level up.
yeah,
And there is this kind of gamified competitiveness to it. And I don't
yeah,
know, I'm not trying to like infantilize our guys, right? But there is sort of like, how much can I get for what I'm bringing, right?
yeah,
How much can I barter? And it's this sort of really weird process that is one, it's not biblical,
yeah.
right? When you I'm so tired of men talking about finding a Proverbs 31 woman when they care about nothing that Proverbs
Mm-mm.
31
No,
says,
absolutely not. Yeah,
right? Like a virtuous woman whose it talks about a virtuous woman whose whose value is far among ruby or higher than rubies, right? Like it's literally putting a valuation on her.
yeah.
And it says nothing about what she looks like
No,
anywhere in
nothing.
Proverbs 31. And it's again, Proverbs is it's written as the advice of a parent to a child, right? Finding a virtuous woman is wealth.
I want a virtuous woman
Uh,
who is smoking hot.
right. And what this apparently
And
that's what everyone
by
says.
virtuous woman, I mean Forget the virtue. I just want smoking hot.
That's the thing. It's people would be willing to discard the virtue. And
Yeah.
then I have people coming to me after their divorce going,
Yeah. I don't know what happened.
"Yeah, my ex-wife left me and whatever, all that was tying us together was physical attraction, and then when
Yeah.
that changed, everything fell apart."
Can I go on a quick soapbox?
Yeah.
What I'm about to say is for men and women.
Uh-huh.
And we can cut this out if you think it's too harsh.
Uh,
You can have your expectations
uh-huh.
for what you want to trade
Yeah.
and what you want to have offered to you.
Mm,
All you want. Make your lists. Dream big.
sure.
But if you have a complicated life
Yeah.
in which things are limiting you,
Yeah.
you can't move, if you're taking care of a loved one, if you have a kid, if you're divorced, if you have a, traumatic past relationship.
Yeah.
It like I'm saying like really like think about it in terms of put yourself in the person's shoes that you're wanting to date.
Yeah.
If you have a complicated history
Mhm.
and going forward will have a complicated life, you have to reevaluate what you're looking for.
Because your complexity is is not devaluing you as a person or the qualities you bring to the table,
No,
but it is limiting the resources you have to offer someone.
not only that, but when someone comes by
Uh-huh.
who is willing to look past those things that are complicating your situation and say, "Hey, I still want to give you a chance.
Yeah.
Please give it a try."
Well, hold on, a caveat to that really quickly. Because people can sort of like pity bomb people of like, wow, you know, it must be, you're a single mom out there or whatever. Like, wow, I'm giving you a chance because who else is
Yeah,
going to date
yeah.
you?
I mean, I'm not
People,
talking about people trying to take advantage of
yeah,
you.
people can weaponize that.
Sure, I'm talking about the ones who specifically find a good thing
Yeah,
and they go to chase, like you said, chase the one that's slightly better
sure.
because it might be better.
Yeah.
When you have someone right in front of you
Uh-huh.
who you can have a great life with,
Right.
and I know this sound, and again, this is going back. Okay, Stephen, are you telling me to settle? And in some situations, I'm saying yes.
I'm saying if the choice is between being with someone who does not fit every quality on your list, but who is still bringing a ton of value
Yeah,
and who aligns with what your actual values are, not what society tells you is important. If the choice is between that and loneliness, choose joy,
yeah.
you know?
There are so many people that we have talked to, and again, this is not everyone,
Right.
but there are so many people who we've talked to who have looked back the last 15, 20 years
Yeah.
and gone, why did I look past so many relationships that were like right in front of me?
Yeah. And
And now they're so many years into their life and they're lonely.
right.
And it reevaluates going, wait, I had opportunities and I chose not to take them.
Right.
And again, this is not like saying like lower your standards to the floor,
Right.
but in the terms of settling, I'm saying I think it's less about settling and more about a recalibration of your expectations.
And this involves a level of vulnerability and self-awareness.
Yeah, it does.
And I want to just say that this can be very difficult for some people because if you have a history of not having the greatest self-esteem, this kind of reflection can be very, very hard. So
Yeah.
do it carefully, do it with someone you trust, but go to a mentor, a trusted friend or mentor, someone who is not going to try to just make you feel good about yourself,
Yeah.
who is going to give you honest feedback. We actually, in our dating barriers course, which you can still go get, by the way, if you want to go take it, we walk people through an exercise of identifying their dating barriers and sitting with a friend
Yeah.
and having their friend talk to them about things in their life that might present barriers to dating. If you have a close, trusted friend who has will give you honest feedback, going to them and saying, hey, what kind of person do you think would be excited to enter a relationship with me? Right? Like, would this type of person who has this, and this kind of, like, let's have an honest conversation about that, right? And they're not going to put you down. They're not going to joke. This has to be a very specific type of person, right?
Yeah.
Or you could have this conversation with your matchmaker, right? Like, we talk to people
Yeah.
about what they can expect, right? But having a conversation with someone to say, hey, what are the qualities that I'm bringing to the table
Yeah.
that someone of the opposite gender would value highly, right? And that doesn't mean that that's the sum total of who you are as a person. It doesn't mean that the quote unquote resources, the apples, the oranges that you're bringing to the dating marketplace are all that you are or represent your true worth.
Yeah.
This is not a representation of what you are worth.
No.
This is a representation of how you are perceived in a culture that has bred a ranking system. And I'm not saying that that's right. And I'm not even saying it's holy. I'm saying it's the reality of how we compete for mates.
Yeah.
Right? I believe as Christians, there are some of these things that need to be taken off of the table.
100%.
First of all, race should never be brought in when we're talking about what resources someone is bringing to the table.
Yeah, absolutely.
Someone's race should not change how valuable they are in the dating space.
Yeah.
Or Christians. That's ridiculous. But it does.
Yeah, I know.
And I got big feelings about that. So there are things that as Christians, we should stop caring about when it comes to dating because we are the people of God and our goal is to get to heaven, right? But we also live in a fallen world and you guys are trying to navigate a very complicated dating landscape.
Yeah.
Sitting with someone and going, based on how the other gender has been trained to perceive valuable resources,
Yeah.
what am I bringing to the table? That could be very eye-opening.
Yeah.
And it might change your approach of who you seek out and what kind of interactions you have with them. And it might even boost your confidence of being able to walk into an interaction and know, hey, I'm stepping up to the table for a solid trade. Like, I'm bringing things that you're going to expect me to bring and you're bringing things that I expect. And we're going to have a really good conversation because we're on kind of level ground here, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to be something that detracts from your dating experience. I think it might actually help you not be lonely.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. I mean, the thing is what's going to be hard for people is them doing that is going to make them feel vulnerable.
Yes.
And it's easier to ignore and just try over and over and over and get rejected than it is to critically think about who they are.
Right.
So, I mean, it takes a level of like being willing to kind of like just analyze, you know?
And I mean, going back to what you said at the beginning, right? Let's say you have this conversation with a trusted friend or mentor and they're like, hey, I got to tell you, you're bringing 3 apples or 3 oranges to the table, right?
Yeah.
And you're shooting for someone who's bringing 6 or 7. You have a choice.
Yeah.
You can start seeking out people that are bringing the same amount of resources as you are.
Or you can start working on your resources.
You can start building resources.
This reminds me a lot of what Brother Cisco told us. He said, what's funny is I wasn't sure where he was going to go with the story whenever he was telling it to us. And he said that whenever he was in the dating scene when he was younger, he says that God challenged him to basically, I think he said something about going on like a 7-year hiatus from dating to like basically focus on his relationship with God and
Asterisk, we don't remember the exact timeline.
Yeah, I remember 7 years, but I don't remember the details behind it.
Yeah.
But anyways, during that time, he had a list of like what he wanted out of a woman. He says that list was grandiose.
Yeah, a mile long.
Yeah, and he said, and when I started hearing this, I was like, oh great, here we go. Another guy making another grandiose list thing, and
right.
And I was kind of expecting like, oh, the preacher who got his unicorn, right? It's the guy
you're expecting, and then the Lord delivered her.
Yeah,
and she
and
was
then
perfect.
she literally walked through the back doors, and she walked right up to the front and said, "Will you marry me?" And so that's where I thought he was going.
Yeah.
And then he says it was during a service or during his personal prayer. He was saying, "All right, God, this is what I'm talking about." And this is like, I think, getting closer to like the middle of his 7 years, I think he said. And he ended up going, like, God opened his eyes and said, "Okay, you can have this list,
Uh-huh.
but are you the type of person that would attract that kind of woman?"
Yeah.
And it really rocked him.
Yeah.
And so he said, then for the next, finishing his sabbatical from
Yeah.
dating, he says he was working on the qualities of himself
Yeah.
to become the person to meet the standards of the woman he wanted to meet.
Yeah.
And I thought that was incredible. It's going back to the, like, he realized how many oranges he had
Yeah.
and goes, I can do more.
Yeah.
And it's not about self-worth. It's about saying, hey, I have room to grow as a person.
Yeah. I can bring more resources to the table. And ultimately, like,
And Brother Cisco, if you hear this and I got that completely wrong, I'm sorry.
yeah, comment below.
Yeah.
We love you. Like, here's the thing, like, you have another option, which is just to get really angry about this whole
Oh, sure.
system and
And blame women.
blame men, blame
Or,
women,
yeah, both.
pitch a tantrum on the internet,
Yeah,
start
yeah.
talking about how all women or all men are
Blame God.
terrible and how they don't look at the right things and how they don't care about the right things and blah, blah, blah women and blah, blah, blah men. You can do that if you want to. It's not helping you.
And there's people on the internet that create an echo chamber.
They do. And I've heard a lot of this about the Facebook groups, the singles
Yeah.
Facebook groups, which God bless our
Which
admins.
and we're not saying that they're bad. We're
No.
just saying we've heard that people hear it on
We're not
there
dissing
a
our
lot.
singles Facebook groups. God bless the admins of the singles Facebook groups. They are doing the Lord's work out there. But we've heard a lot about how people will start a thread that's just a complaint session about women are
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. Men are blah, 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 blah. And they're just getting comments from people who agree with them.
Yeah.
Stop complaining about the other gender and have some real conversations about where you do and don't want to either make concessions or make efforts to improve. You've got choices there. You don't have to put a bunch of work into yourself if you don't want to, but that means you're going to adjust your expectations.
Yep.
Or you can do a lot of really hard work, change the number of resources you're bringing to the table, and keep your expectations where they are. It is your choice. But that is the choice before all of us.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a really vulnerable question?
Oh boy. Sure.
I'm putting you on the spot all kinds of times tonight. Were there things that I'm not gonna make a hypothetical. What things were on your list that I did not bring to the table?
Your height.
You wanted someone tall?
I mean, if you look at my track record,
Okay, it's a very small sample size. No offense.
it is small sample size, but
Yeah.
out of the three,
I am the shortest.
you are significantly shorter.
And curvier.
Sure.
Mhm.
No, I'm just joking. I honestly,
I'm the travel size version.
yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. Whenever I was dating,
Mhm.
I never really like walked around looking for a list of someone to meet.
Yeah, but you had things that you wished I was.
I mean, I was always attracted to brunettes, but
I am that.
and not that I didn't think blondes or redheads were not pretty, but
Uh-huh.
like it was just something that I was always attracted to brunettes. I don't know.
I'm not trying to make you
I'm
diss
not.
me.
No, 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 no. I'm not. And the thing is I'm gonna say, like, I quite frankly did not. I didn't have like a checklist.
No.
I think I was always attracted to women who had higher education than me.
Here we go. Well, so okay, here's the thing that I know. I think.
Yeah, sure, go for it. I apparently I don't know.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying
No,
to
no, no,
put
no.
words in
I'm
your mouth.
saying that intentionally self-deprecating.
I think that you would have wished for someone who was as social as you are, or who would want to be in social spaces as much as you do.
Yeah, your spontaneity kind of sucks.
100%. I am the least
I love you to
spontaneous.
death, but you are the opposite of spontaneous.
Right. If
Yes.
you could have plugged in your into the girlfriend machine all the characteristics of things that you would want in a partner, someone who'd be like, babe, I would love to just get up and go out with all of our friends. That'd be amazing. Would
Yeah.
definitely make the list.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I mean, I think when we were dating too, we're inherently more spontaneous because we're trying to figure out who the
Because I was
person
trying
is.
to impress you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I was faking it.
I think I got catfished. Your spontaneity
We got
catfish.
married and immediately I just put on my Snuggie and pulled the hood down and was
Well,
like,
yeah. Do you? I remember.
I'm never leaving
I was like, what's
again.
an introvert? Like we got married and you're like, I gotta go recharge, and I'm like, okay, let's recharge together, and you're like, no. I was like, okay.
I'm just like in the corner.
The first year was a lot of lessons learned.
It was great. Not gonna lie. We had a great first year, but it
No, it was
was,
great. It was good. It was just one of those things. Is like I apparently had no idea
yeah.
that there was such thing as an introvert,
Okay.
even though I had heard the term. I didn't really understand.
Yes, we thought we were just a mythical species. So like I would say that would be something that you would have wanted if you could have just architected a partner for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Get up and go and just do. Yeah. No, that sounds all right.
Someone athletic.
Uh,
I mean, someone who could throw a frisbee with you and like run with you a little bit and like do things
I
outside with
wish you
you.
were more impressed with me.
Sorry.
Because you don't know about athletics, like, I feel like it's hard for you to be like, "Great, babe. That's really nice." I'm like, "Babe, you don't understand what I just did."
You're like, look at how high I jumped. And I'm like,
But then that also
cool.
goes both ways. Like, I have no idea how amazing your, like, literary ability is, and I'm like, "Yeah, babe, I don't like reading."
And so, and those are things that were on my list, right?
Yeah,
Like,
sure.
I,
Quite
if
literally, you broke up with me for it.
I didn't break up with you because you couldn't read. He can read.
People are gonna be like, "Wow, Steven's an idiot."
No. No, I didn't break up with you because of a lack of education or perceived difference in education.
But you wanted someone of the same
I
educational.
did. For a while I
So it
really
is, you did break up with me for lack of education.
don't constantly make it about that.
I know. I'm just
Because I know that you don't actually think that, but they're
yeah.
going to hear that and think that that's what happened.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'm completely joking. Like, if you haven't heard about what we're talking about, go back to the first couple episodes.
Yeah, okay. Anyway. But no, like I did have things on my list that were about like oranges, quote unquote, that you didn't have,
Yeah.
right? I wanted to be with a musician.
Yep.
I wanted to sing and write music together a
That's right.
lot.
You did not get either of those.
No, sorry. It's okay. You know, and like I don't know, go to I don't know, book fairs, I guess. I don't know. Do book related things or sit together and read in the evenings. I can't even imagine.
You don't even do that now.
I don't even do that now. No, I just like check out
Well,
on
I
my
mean, that's
phone.
what happens when you're a parent of young kids, but
Yeah. So, but those things aren't ultimately that important. The resources that you brought to the table were the ones that I needed,
yes.
you
I'm
know.
not saying that because I'm agreeing because I think you do the same thing for me. Not because I'm like, "Yes, I totally brought what you needed."
Right. We balance each other out,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So we didn't bring all the same resources to the table.
Yeah.
And that's important.
Eh,
You
yeah.
brought things that I didn't know I needed.
And I didn't see the value in some of the oranges that or apples that you brought to the table
Right.
until after we got married.
Yeah.
Like even though I didn't like think they were bad, but it was just one of those things that like those specific traits were not the ones that initially attracted me to you, but
Right.
I learned to absolutely love them,
Yeah.
like your shortness.
Thank you. Um
Except for now you've spread those short genetics to our kids.
our kids are going to be just fine. They're perfect. They're going to be fine. They're athletic and they're
That's true.
adorable.
They are very athletic and agile.
Yeah. They have great upper body strength, which I could never claim. So,
Lily's like, "Daddy, can you what'd she say? Like double can you like bar skip?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" She goes, in monkey bars, can you bar skip?" I'm like, "I used to be able to."
I have never been able to ever.
She's like, "I can bar skip now."
I have never been able to do anything except dead man's hang on a monkey bar and not for very long.
Yeah.
Um so anyway, the point of this whole conversation is not to distill people down to a set of numbers and scores and rankings and stats. Like I don't want people to come away from this thinking that they have to put themselves into some kind of a box.
Yeah.
But we're trying to make the landscape make more sense to you about why people make the decisions that they do. Even if they're making them for the wrong reasons, I want you to have an understanding of why it functions the way it does so that you can make informed choices.
Yeah.
about who you choose to approach or how you choose to work on yourself. And if you have questions about, like, hey, I feel like I'm bringing a lot to the table here, but I feel like it's not perceived that way. Where am I wrong about what they care about? Come talk to us.
Yeah.
Like, we'll have that conversation with you. It's not easy because it's not always fair feeling, but we'll talk to you about the trends that we see,
Yeah.
right? And if you come away and you're like, that I really feel like I'm not being valued, it's like, well, okay, let's figure out how we find someone who values the things you're talking about. How do we look for someone who really, really cares about the resources you're bringing, right?
Yeah.
That's another conversation to have too. So we're open to all of that. We just want you to be able to make clear, informed choices and not just constantly be throwing barbs back and forth of men always do this, women always do this. Let's understand why. And then we can choose to decide how we're going to navigate this crazy space, right?
Yeah.
I love you,
I love you.
even though you can't sing yet,
I love you, even though you can't reach the top shelf.
ever.
No.
No.
Um, I guess we're closing out.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else.
Okay. Um, I want to plug the Discord.
E.
Guys, we were having so much fun. Like,
I'm so proud of you.
like, like the Discord is starting to I think I said this every time. Like, it's getting really to the point of where like people are starting to invest in each other without me probing,
Yeah.
to like see where it goes. Like earlier, right before we got on tonight to do this, to record the podcast, I looked on the Discord just to kind of see, and there was people hanging out in there just chatting.
Who would have never met each
No,
other?
and these are people that don't know each other, or maybe they've heard of
Yeah.
each other but never actually interacted. And they're
Yeah.
completely two different age groups too. Like, and I love that. But one thing I want to shout out is my buddy Ben.
Oh, yeah.
He has been doing something that's so cool,
Hmm.
and that is he's been taking stories of his, but also from other experiences that other men experience,
Yeah.
and writing songs.
Yeah.
And his lyrics are so good.
Really, really impactful.
Yeah, and he's a musician himself, but he doesn't have like a home studio.
Yeah.
And so he's been using a software to help create the music. It's like an AI software that helps create the sounds, and he knows how to communicate with it so well.
Yeah.
And he adds instrumentals in certain areas, and he can actually do sound bites of his own voice. So
Voice
like
sampling.
the voice sampling is
Yeah.
like his voice in a lot of ways, and but like all of his lyrics are his, and it's like, dude, he like I listen to the music and I just want to cry because from a guy's perspective, it's real.
He's really putting into words a lot of the phenomenon that you and I have talked about of like why men are pulled in so many different directions and
Yeah,
like the tensions that guys experience from a very young age. And he's put it into these really, really impactful pieces of music that even as a woman, you've let me listen to a few of them. And I feel like I come away with a better understanding
yeah,
of the emotional landscape that guys encounter. And the whole, you know, goal of the Discord is really to give guys space to be guys and
yeah,
really authentically understand and connect with like what it is to be an apostolic man.
yeah.
And he's really infused these with these like little like vignettes of
Yeah,
his own experience. It's just really powerful.
they're amazing.
We love
And
and I love that like that's a space where he's feeling free to like be creative and
yeah,
other
well,
guys are, can kind of do the same thing.
I gotta shout you out, Ben, because like I didn't know he did this.
Oh yeah.
Like I remember in a conversation, I remember him saying about like writing music.
Yeah.
And I always knew he was a musician because I have known Ben ever since I was a teenager.
Yeah, like in real
But
life.
like we weren't in the same friend group for a long time.
Oh.
The thing that really caught me off guard
Mhm.
was he basically showed me that he knew how to do this
Yeah.
by sending me a song that he wrote about our Discord.
Yeah.
And I wasn't expecting it. And when I hear AI music, I kind of roll my eyes a little bit,
Sure.
because I'm like, I don't know what it is. I knew what it was, but like I didn't. I've heard some, and it sounds like AI.
Yeah.
And the words and the lyrics that he put into it, and the music itself was just really cool,
Yeah.
and but really moving. And the words that he put into that song made me instantly start crying.
Yeah.
because he had only been in the Discord for like maybe a week,
And
maybe a
he
week and a half.
he got it.
And I remember him being up with me one night talking to it was like me and him were hanging out with another few other people, and we were up till like almost 3 in the morning. It was not a good idea. But it was a great idea for the connection, but it's not a great idea for my sleep schedule.
Yeah.
And we were just talking and being real. And I remember Ben texting me one night and saying, "I get it."
Yeah.
And so then I think it wasn't long after that, he sent me the song called "The Outpost," because that's the name of our Discord, is "The Outpost." And in those lyrics, he showed that he understood what I was going for. And
Yeah.
up until that point, I always felt like a salesman of like a weird, like niche, like as seen on TV, like gadgets that I'm always trying to convince people is so important to the world,
Yeah.
but no one else would see it initially.
Yeah.
And I feel like he was the first person that saw my gadget and goes, "Ah, yes, I see the importance of it," right?
Yeah.
Like this is something that I had of a dream to keep on building and providing a space for men
Yeah.
to be vulnerable and just come and hang out and be them, but yet still be apostolic and still be men, but also be able to have conversations where we can cry if we need to. And that sounds weird, but like it's something that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Anyways, that song, he really nailed it. He nailed it on the head.
It's awesome. And I think it's such a cool, I mean, I think this is where, you know, modern kind of men's discipleship needs to needs to plant a flag, right?
Yeah.
Being online is the social landscape where most of our guys find connection these days.
Yeah. Do I prefer in person? 100%.
Yeah, there's no
But there's
trade.
no way I can hang out with these people in
Right.
person.
There's no trade for sitting side by side with someone over a cup of coffee or whatever, or like
Mm-mm.
doing something with them. That's really important too. But the fact is, if most of people's social lives are going to be happening online, which is how it is these days,
Yeah.
then the online space needs to be one where that we evangelize. And I don't mean like these guys are all already apostolic, but there needs to be an apostolic presence in those spaces, and a space where we can connect as the people of God in whatever way we
Yeah.
need to, and minister to each other there. The church needs to be functioning in those spaces too.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to see. I'm really proud of you.
Thanks. I'm proud of these guys for taking a chance from the Discord.
Yeah. Link below if you are a guy
That's
and
right.
or a guy and you're
Single or apostolic. You don't have to be one of our clients or
single or
anything.
apostolic.
Sorry.
Single or married.
You don't have to be one of our clients.
No. And send it to, if you're a woman listening to this and you're like, oh, yes, I know the Discord. Listen, there's a single man in your life, like your brother or your cousin or your whatever, that's not an option for you, who needs male connection.
Yeah.
And we are doing this ultimately because we know that men who are strongly connected and grounded in male relationships that sharpen them are better able to step into relationship.
Yeah.
Right? That's the core of this too, is like men who are supported by men are more ready to become great partners.
Yeah.
You know?
So, I haven't talked to you about this yet.
Okay.
And I haven't gotten permission from Ben yet, but there's a chance. I would love at the end to have a soundbite of one of his songs at the end of this podcast.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Anything else we need to announce or talk about?
No.
Okay.
Besides, we're going to a wedding this evening, not this evening, the end of this month.
We are going to a wedding at the end of this month. It's gonna be good times.
Yep.
Max and Raya, can't wait.
All right. It is being an hour and 20 minutes, so we should probably stop.
Yes. I love you.
I love you too.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Yeah. I got hurt in the open, yeah, that part's true. When my words, they spread faster than the truth. Felt the weight of the room when I walked in. Didn't know it was safe, didn't know to trust then. Pain has a way, narrowing the view. Makes a few loud voices feel like the whole room. I focused on the stairs, missed the quiet grace. Missed the ones praying for me in a different place. Missed the text saying take your time, we're here. Missed the brother standing guard when I disappeared. Hurt made me deaf to the knocks on the door. Thought I was fighting alone in the middle of war. Grace doesn't always shout. Sometimes it waits in the wings. I thought love left the building. Turns out it stayed with me. There were more that stayed and walked away. turn to face. More that stood when I couldn't stand. More that fought when I dropped my hands. I came back carrying all my shame. Laid my stones where mercy remains. Found out I wasn't alone at all. I just couldn't hit them through the fall. Some people held the line when I fell apart. Spoke my name with respect when I wasn't around. Defended my story when it wasn't theirs to tell. Saw my mess but believed I'd heal. They didn't rush my healing, didn't try to control. Didn't turn my failure into a permanent role. They walk with me slowly, step by step. Never use my scars as a sermon text. God used their patience to soften my guard. Use their presence to reach my heart. They reminded me church ain't a building or a crowd. It's the ones who love you when you're bleeding. Great doesn't mean we pretend there's no pain. It means we don't leave. When someone breaks, there were more that stayed than walked away. More that loved me than turned their face. More that stood when I couldn't stay. More that fought when I dropped my hands. I came back carrying all my shame. Laid my stones where mercy remains. Found out I wasn't alone at all. I just couldn't hit him through the fall. I used to think church was where I got hurt. Now I see it's where I was held. Not everyone knew what to say, but a lot of them knew how to stay. And sometimes, that's everything. I walk back in, not fixed, not strong. Still learning where I belong. But I was met with open hands. Not perfect people, just faithful ones. I lay my stones at the altar floor. Didn't need to carry them anymore. Grace wasn't loud, grace wasn't grand. It just stood by me like it said it would. If you're scared to come back cause you've been hurt before, just know there's more love than you've been told. Some of us are here for the long fight, still standing with you in the hardest night. Stones at the altar,